All right, turning now once again to our top story. As pro-life advocates celebrate the Supreme Court's landmark decision to overturn Roe versus Wade, our next guest says this victory feels personal. Republican Congresswoman Cammack says doctors told her own mother she would not survive giving birth due to complications after a stroke. But her mom refused to get an abortion and saved Kat's life. Joining us now, Congresswoman Cammack. Congresswoman, what an amazing story. I had no idea about this personal element to your story, and it was amazing to see that picture of you as a little girl. Tell us more about this, your story, and what this moment feels like for you.
Well, good morning and happy Saturday. And yes, this is an incredible moment for the pro-life world and for all the advocates who have worked so hard for this moment. And of course, this, as you said, is personal to me. When my mom was 27 years old, she had a stroke several days before giving birth to my sister. And it was then that the doctors told her, after a year of learning how to walk again, regaining motor functions, that she would never be able to have children again safely because it would probably cost her her own life and the life of her child. So when she found herself pregnant with me many years later, she was alone, she was scared, and doctors left, right, and center were telling her to abort me. Even my own grandparents, for fear of her life, asked her, "Do you want to die?" So you can imagine how scary that moment must have been for a single mom. But she made the courageous decision. She rejected abortion and was able to deliver a healthy baby girl. And I'm here today, the youngest Republican woman in the country, in Congress, because of my mom's brave decision and her advocacy for life.
That is amazing. And that's why these pro-life centers are so important, because it would give somebody like your mom an option and it would provide them support. So it's so sad to see them being vandalized across the country. In Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis said that he wants to do more to protect the pro-life movement. What would you like to see done in terms of Florida law?
You know, I think that what Florida has done was an amazing step in terms of advocacy for the sanctity of life. And, you know, you just hit on that, Carly. We saw back in the day not a lot of resources for life, not a lot of efforts for adoption or fostering. And so back when my mom had to make this decision, she didn't have those resources, but she still stood firm for life. Now we have pregnancy centers all across the country. And I like to tell women that you have options. There are real choices here, not just the abortion. That's not a real choice. That's murder. So let's get to some place where we can have an honest conversation. And what this decision does is not outlaw abortion. It returns the issue to the states where it should have been all a law. So while this was a win for the sanctity of life, it's also a win for the sanctity of our Constitution, because this was a 10th Amendment issue all along. And as Americans, we adhere to the basic tenets of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And if we're going to uphold those American values, it starts with life. So states have some work to do. Florida's taken some great first steps, and I'd love to see more resources for adoption. Talking about maternity leave across the country. I'd love for us to start that conversation in a healthy, productive way as we move away from this barbaric practice that we have seen of second and third trimester abortion. So it's a great day for life, a great day for America.
It certainly is. Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us. As Ainsley said, we're so glad you were born.
I appreciate that. I'm not sure Nancy feels the same way, but
I'm sure in her heart of hearts she does. Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you.
All right, just minutes away, President Biden is expected